of hey guys, welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number 77. It's good to be back. Unfortunately, last week I had to miss the podcast. Well, we all had to miss the podcast for several reasons. And today it's good to be back for episode number 77. We're at 77 now. Franco will be joining later on. And today we've got like a ridiculous amount of stuff to talk about. Absolutely ridiculous amount of stuff. So let's get straight into it, shall we? First of all, hello to everyone in the chat. You could see 5 viewers. We're waiting for the podcast to start, and I'm very honored to have you here on the show. So let's get straight into it. Today, we've got lots to talk about. Like I said, we've got lots of trailers to talk about. First of all, we're going to have a look at the trailer called A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. It's a very interesting trailer, and I'm very much looking forward to talking about it. Hello, Yella. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Did you see the Nosferatu trailer? Yella. I'm so excited for that. And we're going to talk about it. Talking about Nosferatu, the Eggers brothers on their debut released trailer for The Front Room. We'll have a look at that as well. That also looks very interesting looking horror. The Penguin released a new trailer, and we'll be talking about that as well. And finally, of course, the Nosferatu trailer. I am so excited to talk about that one. I am a big Robert Eggers fan. So that's one movie I've very much been looking forward to watching. And then we've got lots of reviews. I mean, we've got a ridiculous amount of reviews. So Franco's going to be talking about a documentary called The Grab. He'll give his review for that. Unfortunately, I did not have the time to watch I Saw the TV Glow. So Franco will be reviewing that as well. Then I did manage to watch the Bikeriders yesterday, so I'm looking forward to talking about the Bikeriders, which is a movie I had a very good time watching. I'll comment about that, and then we'll get into the series. Now, we've got lots of series to talk about. Dark Matter had its final episode last week, so we'll review basically the whole season. We've got The Boys so far, and The Boys is actually in the title, a bit of a clickbaity title for obvious reasons. That's how you get the views, unfortunately. A bit of a clickbaity title, Has The Boys Gone Woke? I know probably many of you know already my thoughts on that, but we'll get into that later on as well. Then we've got The Acolyte. That's another show that has had a lot of controversy recently. We'll be talking about episodes 3 and 4 on the podcast. And finally, we've got House of the Dragon. I did not watch episode 2 because I watched that with my girlfriend. So episode 2 we'll delve into next week, but this week I'll give you my thoughts on the first episode, and obviously I am very much looking forward to checking out the second episode. So let's get straight into it. So this past few weeks have been quite busy for me, very busy actually. Lots of stuff to do at work and so on. So time to watch stuff has been limited, meaning that I haven't watched too many films. Usually when I get into the what we've been up to section, I have like 4 or 5 movies, or at least sometimes even 6 or 7 movies a week. This time I only have 2 to talk about. The Bikeriders, like I said, I'll be reviewing that later on. I did, however, get to watch If, which released on digital this week, basically last week. And it stars Kaylee Fleming, stars Ryan Reynolds, also John Krasinski, who's also the director of that film. Actually, let me bring it up on the screen to show you which movie I am talking about. The movie is If, like I said, starring Kaylee Fleming and Ryan Reynolds, directed by John Krasinski. A bit of a different movie for John Krasinski. I was surprised. It's a movie that probably isn't really targeting my demographic, but really surprised by how much I emotionally resonated with this film. I was very much surprised. I think it's a very well-made film. I think John Krasinski is a great director, and it shows in this film. Ryan Reynolds is decent. He's not just, Deadpool Ryan Reynolds. He's has his emotional moments. He's actually playing I wouldn't say too different from what he's been doing recently, but at least a little bit different, right? Which is always a nice thing to see, because Ryan Reynolds is a very, very talented actor. Unfortunately, he's fallen into this trope of characters that we were always thinking was Deadpool, basically. But it's seeing all the different created monsters in this, or creatures, the imaginary friends, right? Because the whole concept here is, and I'll read it from here, is that you've got this young girl who goes through, well, more than one difficult experience, and begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real life friends have grown up. Now, the whole concept of imaginary friends is a very interesting one, right? And the director, John Krasinski, and the whole team behind it really delve into the creativity here, and they explore different character designs and imaginary friends and so on. And it's actually really well done. Some of the designs are excellent. The CGI, I think, was also surprisingly very good. I know this had quite a big budget, and now I understand why. Anyways, there's lots of imagination, lots of creativity, lots of heart behind this film, and that really, 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 really helps. Strong performances by the leads, very imaginative creations. I think this is well worth checking out. The only thing I really did not like about well, there are some things. I think sometimes the pacing is a little too slow. Tonally, it's a bit mix and match. Who is this targeting? It's not targeting kids, because you have some very, very dramatic moments in it. A bit too dramatic for kids, in my opinion. At the same time, is it targeting my demographic? The humor is generally quite childish. It seems like the humor is targeting a much younger audience than myself. So I'm not really sure who the demographic is that they are targeting. I just know I had a good time watching it. And not if you're the kind of person like me who's a little nostalgic about the good old days of when you were a young kid and had your imaginary... I never had an imaginary friend, but imagine many people did. I'm sure you'll have a good time watching If. I was surprised when it released. It had some very negative reactions, but it's good to see that it's doing well on digital and streaming now. So that's If. Like I said, I also watched the Bikeriders, which I will review later on. That's the Bikeriders, which we'll be reviewing later on. Apart from that, then there's the series, there's Dark Matter, the season finale, which me and Franco will talk about. There's The Boys, which we'll talk about as well, The Acolyte, and House of Dragon. All of those we will talk about later on in the show, in the review section of the show. So, viewers and listeners, thank you so much for joining us. We've got 6 viewers on the show right now. Happy to have you all here. Don't forget to leave a like on the podcast and on the YouTube video, and please leave a comment. Let us know what you've been up to in the past week or weeks. Hello, Keith. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Let us know what you've been up to, what you've been watching, what you've been playing. Also, talking about playing, be playing a lot of Elden Ring. Man, so much Elden Ring. And the few free days that I've had in the past couple of free days, basically. Trying to build a new character to be able to play the DLC. I've seen a lot of people talking about how difficult the Elden Ring DLC is. That'll be a fun playthrough for the summer, definitely. And then, obviously, I will review it later on when I'm done with it, which might take a while, hearing how difficult it is. Anyways, let's get straight into the show now. We've got lots of trailers to talk about, so I'm going to start off with the first one, and one that I had absolutely no idea existed, but I am very much interested in this movie. So, this movie is called A Real Pain, and it stars Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. And in it, we see Jesse Eisenberg, who not only stars, but also directs, as he continues his evolution from actor to filmmaker with his second project, A Real Pain. The Eisenberg directed and written film premiered at Sundance, and now the first official trailer for the dramedy, which he also stars in alongside Kieran Culkin, has arrived. In the film, we've got Eisenberg and Culkin play cousins David and Benji, who take a trip to Poland in honor of their grandmother. The cousins navigate reuniting with each other, as well as grappling with their families' seemingly complicated history and dynamics. According to Deadline, the film is being considered as an awards contender. A Real Pain will premiere in theaters on October 18th. So, obviously, I cannot play the whole trailer, but I'll have some snippets here and there. So, A Real Pain. I have to say, having watched the whole trailer, I think this looks like a really well-directed film. I think Jesse Eisenberg is developing into a very talented filmmaker, not only a talented actor, because he is an incredibly talented actor. And I have to say, I really love the dynamic between the two. I mean, first of all, I'm a big fan of both actors, especially Kieran Culkin. I love, obviously, from Succession, one of my all-time favorite characters in a series. And to be honest with you, I love the dynamic between the two. The dialogue sounds crisp, sounds fun, sounds entertaining. They talk like real people, the way real people talk, which is always, I think, essential in movies like these. And as I said, I think the dynamics looks great. Again, as you can see, you get some nice shots as well. Beautifully directed, beautifully shot. Beautiful dynamic between the two. I think the chemistry is insane between the two. I think there's real chemistry from what we get from the trailer. And it looks like a really promising film. I think this, like Deadline has said, will definitely be an awards contender in the next year's Oscars, of course. And I am very excited to watch this film. As I said, it releases on October 18th. Will be interesting to see if we get to watch this in cinemas and more. Probably not. Probably will have to wait for the digital. But yes, this is one I'm very much looking forward to checking out. And looking at the commentary, like from Variety, this is what fucking filmmaking is about. I mean, goes to show that this is a movie I'm very excited to watch. And that is A Real Pain. Moving on to the next trailer we have to talk about, which is The Front Room, directed by the Eggers brothers. And we'll definitely be talking about more Egger brothers later on. But this time we've got The Front Room, which is Eggers brothers' directorial debut. Being cooped up with a newborn and a mother-in-law can drive anyone crazy. So says Brandy Norwood's embattled mother-to-be Belinda in the nerve-fraying new trailer for A24's The Front Room, and honestly, on present evidence, that may well be an understatement. Hailing from co-writer-director duo Max and Sam Eggers, brothers of Nosferatu filmmaker Robert Eggers, the siblings' psychological horror based on Susan Hill's short story of the same name sees a young, newly pregnant couple's lives upended when the husband's stepmother comes to stay. Now, the stepmother being Kathryn Hunter, who is an actress who I adore. I think she's an insanely talented actress, and she is perfectly cast for this role. First of all, I think our main protagonists, Norwood and Andrew Burnap, look good. They look very good in this, but I have to say I am so excited to see Kathryn Hunter's performance in this. She looks incredibly creepy. Perfect casting for this role. Now, this isn't the Eggers brothers debut, so it'll be interesting to see what we get out of it. Now, me and Joe always have this argument about the A24 vibes, right? And I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's ridiculous to say that there is no, kind of like no A24 vibes. I think it's ridiculous because this is what I mean when we say A24 vibes. Like clearly A24 vibes. It's atmospheric. The horror is can be felt. Like I said, very atmospheric. Again, very beautifully shot movie. It seems like it's going to be a very beautifully shot movie. Loving the color tones. I'm loving everything about this trailer. And like I said, Kathryn Hunter looks insanely good in this trailer. It'll be interesting to see how it develops, what direction this movie will take. But I mean, the symbolism, the visuals all look really promising. I love this shot. I adore this shot. I love the composition of it. I love the blocking. I love everything about this shot. I love the lighting as well there, natural lighting coming in. I love everything about it. And this look when she hugs her son-in-law. Oh man, I love this. I love everything about this film. I think this is going to be a great horror film with some really, really, really promising performances. So those are my thoughts about The Front Room, which is the Eggers brothers' directorial debut. Next up is another trailer that I've been very much looking forward to talking about, and that is The Penguin. So we got a new trailer for The Penguin, and I have to say, I think this looks fantastic. I believe we've already talked about it. I believe we've already spoken a little bit about The Penguin on this podcast. Let me just bring it up on screen. Oh, here it is. But yes, The Penguin, new trailer. Colin Farrell's Batman villain terrorizes Gotham City. Warner Brothers Discovery has released a new trailer for The Penguin, the spin-off series focusing on Colin Farrell's titular gangster from DC's The Batman. Set immediately after the events of the 2022 blockbuster film, the 8-episode series charts the character once known as Oswald Cobblepot and his rise to power in the Gotham underworld to become one of the most notorious villains in the Batman universe. Lauren LeFranc serves as writer, executive producer, and showrunner on The Penguin, while The Batman writer-director Matt Reeves executive produces through his production company Sixth and Idaho. So it seems like Matt Reeves will be overlooking the show in general, but mostly it's written, produced, and so on, all in the hands of Laurent LeFranc. Now, I believe Laurent LeFranc is the person who worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If anyone in the chat has watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., let me know what you thought about that show. I hear good and mixed stuff about it, right? I mean, hear mixed stuff about it. Some good, some bad. Maybe basically everyone seems to say that it started really well and then, devolved into a pretty bad show overall. So mixed stuff about it, but still the fact that you've got Matt Reeves overlooking it is always positive. Now, what do I think about this trailer? So first of all, I thought Colin Farrell in The Batman was a real standout. First of all, The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves in 2022, was a fantastic film. Really disappointed it didn't get more Oscar attention that year. I thought the soundtrack was fantastic. Again, talking about atmosphere, I've been talking about atmosphere a lot today. Super atmospheric film. Gotham City really felt like a real character in that film. Extremely gothic approach to the architecture, the beautiful lighting, and actual good use of the volume. Because generally, when it comes to the volume, watching something from Star Wars, from one of those Star Wars shows, it feels like people are floating and everything behind them is fake. But in the Batman, it feels like a real living world. So that's excellent use of the volume. But I have to say, overall, the film was a bit too long. The last 20 minutes were a bit, in my opinion, extra, weren't really needed. I understand why Reeves spoke about the fact that he wanted to transition Batman from being, all about, revenge and the dark, gritted Batman to the more hopeful Batman. And I think it was a good transition. Just the final 20 minutes felt a bit too much. Post-Riddler, basically. Anything post-Riddler, I wasn't the biggest fan of. Still some beautiful visuals in those scenes. Beautiful visuals. And it seems like, from watching the trailer, that the Penguin is the aftermath of what happened in the Batman. So literally exactly after what happened in the Batman. And so we get to see Oswald Cobblepot's rise to power. I mean, he already seemed quite powerful in Batman, but now he is looking to get in charge, right? And I think it's going to be a fantastic show. Again, visually, this looks great. I think if they keep the same visuals of the Batman and focus the story this time on Penguin, I think we have the potential for a great film. Shots like these get me excited for this show. So I remain really excited for the show. If they can, helm into like the whole gangster element of it all, I think there's real potential. I think there's a real potential for this show. So I'm super excited for this. Franco's just messaging me soon, joining. I was resting. All right, so Franco will be joining in a bit. So let me just continue talking a little bit about this trailer. Like I said, I thought The Batman was a freaking fantastic film. Just some of the pacing in the final 20 minutes were a bit of a problem with me. Again, I hope the soundtrack is as good as the score is just as good as it was in The Batman. That was a fantastic score in The Batman. Overall, with regard to the trailer, I think this looks great. I think it's going to delve into some of the politics as well in Gotham City. Oh no, I don't want to get banned on Facebook. I've told this story before, so if anyone knows, when I had released the review for The Batman back in 2022, I still was doing my solo YouTube channel. Basically, this was the Ad Lib show, not the Ad Lib Podcast. And I had, released a review for The Batman, and I had posted Batman tackles corruption in Gotham City. And the funny thing about it is that basically Facebook had blocked me posting that video, saying that I have to fact check my statement because it's not true, because I'm posting fake news about corruption in Gotham City. I think one of the biggest evidence that AI is incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. And unfortunately, the reality is that when I obviously try to get it through to Facebook, an actual person at Facebook, an actual human being, manually blocked it as well for the same reason, because I was spreading misinformation. So yeah, that's a fun little tidbit about corruption in Gotham City. But again, like looking at visuals like these, I think the lighting, just like it was in the Batman, looks fantastic, looks great. I think there is lots and lots of potential in this. If they can hone in into the violence of Gotham City, if they can hone in into the atmosphere of Gotham City that we got in the Batman, but focus a bit more on the kind of like the gangster element of it all, I think we've got real potential for one of the best shows of 2024. And we've already had some freaking great shows. I mean, we've had Shogun, one of my all-time favorite shows already this year. So I think the Batman Penguin stands in potentially as one of 2024's best shows. We will see later on this year. And that leads me, and I hope Franco will join very soon, because I know he is dying to talk about this trailer as well, to talk about the final trailer of the day, which is Nosferatu. I'm so excited for this film. This is probably I was most looking forward to Dune Part 2, of course, this year. I was very, very much excited to watch also Furiosa. I think Furiosa was my number 2. And my number 3 was Nosferatu. So, as you can tell, I'm very much looking forward to watching Nosferatu. So, we got the Nosferatu trailer. Lily Rose Depp gets covered in blood, and Bill Skarsgård's vampire terrorizes the town in Robert Eggers' remake. So, Bill Skarsgård is transforming into Nosferatu in Robert Eggers' upcoming reimagining of the iconic 1922 German expressionist silent film, but horror fans will have to keep waiting to see Skarsgård's full appearance as Count Orlok, as the movie's first trailer from Focus Features continues to keep the vampire's complete look a mystery. Skarsgård is barely seen in the clip outside of a few quick shots, but his character's haunting presence looms large. Nosferatu is directed and written by Eggers, a favorite among horror fans, thanks to directorial efforts such as The Witch and The Lighthouse. Eggers' last film was the Viking revenge epic The Northman, which was also released by Focus Features. Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her. causing untold horror in its wake, according to the logline. We've got obviously Lily Rose Depp, who stars as Ellen Hunter, the woman that Nosferatu is obsessed with. Nicholas Hoult is Thomas Hutter, Ellen's husband and a real estate agent who comes into contact with his new client, not knowing that the Count is a centuries-old vampire. Hello, Franco. Just going to finish my commentary here. Other cast members include Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who we will see in Craven the Hunter, as Friedrich Harding. We've got Emma Corrin, who I adored in The Crown, as Anna Harding, and Willem Dafoe as Professor Alban Eberhard von Franz, who looks freaking amazing in this trailer. Nosferatu, Franco, unfortunately, is scheduled to release in theaters on December 25.
No, I mean,
Let's celebrate Christmas with Nosferatu.
Listen, it's a great Christmas present. It's like Harry Potter, but for adults, basically. You know,
yes.
Harry Potter used to come out every Christmas, and now we have Nosferatu. Hello, guys. By the way, sorry for being late. Somehow, I don't know. I stayed. My siesta took longer than I expected.
How's it going, Franco? How are you after yesterday?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just the heat got to me. You know what I mean? So basically, guys, stay as fucking hydrated as possible. That's all. In fact, if you see me going away for a while, I'm just going to get water. That's all. So all stay hydrated, stay safe, check onto your loved ones as well, because this heat is not good.
Nope. But what is good is Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. What do you think about the trailer, Franco?
He's bringing the heat. Look, the trailer doesn't give me much. Fine. I'd rather have that, and because now I'm really curious to how it looks like. I mean, it looks it's like marrying. But we have a heat wave here, and we are 27 degrees. Says I wish I was in that heat wave. 27 degrees.
To be fair, the infrastructure in London is not set for those kinds of heat waves. So there's that to consider.
It looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. Period detail seems on point as usual with an Eggers production. I think this year is going to be an Eggers year, because even have you shown the other trailer?
Yes, I already commented about what was that one? The front room. The front room
from Belinda.
Oh man, Katrin Hunter looks so good in that. Oh.
Is it like I think it's like a spiritual prequel to Hereditary almost.
That looks good as well. Both visually look great.
And this this looks fantastic. Seems like there's great performances as well. There's our favorite Ralph Ineson as well with that voice. He's coming.
He's coming.
And Holt.
It looks great.
I think this is the. Recently, he's been having like some sort of comedic. He went into a comedic route, and now he's back into some really good, like, meaty, beefy role.
To be fair, he had The Menu, where in The Menu his character there was a slight comedic element to it in The Menu as well, and I like that. What else has he been in recently? Like the most recent stuff he's done.
Catherine,
he had that Nicolas Cage Dracula film as well.
Speaking of Dracula, I think he's into vampires now.
Yes, seems like. And obviously he's got Superman Legacy coming up as well.
He's going to be Lex Luthor,
with his bald head. This looks so good. I think this was my favorite shot. This was my favorite shot with the hand, with the hand appearing. Oh man, this looks so good.
It looks like he married the the 1920s with Dracula as well. There's this kind of, but then he pushes the like what did he say? It's like this sexual horror elements to
yes.
100.
Yes.
So
Which we saw a little bit in The Witch as well. We saw a little bit in The Witch
yes.
as well. I love the architecture. I love the style of architecture that he's going with as well in this. It looks like perfect for a film, which is obviously based on.
This is this Jim Caviezel, because he looked like Jim Caviezel, by the way. The guy, the Witchfinder General. It really looks like Jim Caviezel.
I don't think so. But yes, this looks atmospheric. Visuals are on point. I'm really curious to see Lily Rose Depp, because I don't know. Have we seen her in anything big apart from obviously that train wreck of a show on HBO?
No, not much of this is Emma Corrin year, for sure.
I love Emma Corrin. You know what? One of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to watching Deadpool and Wolverine is to see Emma Corrin as the villain.
Oh, okay.
She looks good in that, and I saw the trailer. None of the trailer looks good. Emma Corrin as the trailer, as the villain, as the antagonist, looks really, really good. And that's one of the only reasons why I'm looking forward to watching Deadpool and Wolverine, to be honest. Because apart from that, oh god, that trailer.
So she was in The King.
The Crown. She was in The Crown.
No, Lily Rose Depp. I'm saying, not. What's her
Oh
name?
yes. She was the French princess in The King.
I think so. Yeah, and
she was the French princess. She was good in that. Yes, she was very good in that. She was a very good presence in that. I liked. The King I think is one of the most underrated films recently released. Honestly, I think no one talks about that film, and I think it's a crime that no one talks about The King. I think it's one of the most underrated films released recently. She was the princess, I believe, in that. Where is she? Catherine. Yeah, she was great. Joel Edgerton. We're going to talk about Joel Edgerton later on.
And there was also Silent Night. I don't know if you heard.
I haven't watched Silent Night. No, I haven't watched it.
But yeah, that's it basically.
Anyway, so the trailer looks great. Super atmospheric. I mean, I've loved everything Eggers has done so far. Starting from The Witch. I was shocked to see that Eggers said he really dislikes The Witch now.
Yeah.
He sees a lot of errors and lots of mistakes in his direction of The Witch. I'm like, dude, what? That's one of my all-time favorite films.
I understand him a lot, man. I understand him a lot because it's like I can see it. She's going to be starring next up. I'm seeing here in a movie called The Governess. The Governesses.
The Governesses. I haven't heard of that.
With Renate Reinsve and Hoyon. Just a second. Jong Hoyon of the Squid Games fame.
Obviously, Eggers, he's got The Lighthouse, which was again an incredibly the movie man. I'm cracking up at this being released in Christmas. Krampus is the last horror movie I've seen released then, and it happened to be Christmas themed. So this being 100% horror is wild. By the way, the movie man, I saw your out of theater review for the Bikeriders. Well done. I really liked it.
Okay.
The movie man is a YouTuber. I've been watching his stuff for a really long time, since I started YouTube back in 2020. He's a really good guy. I like his stuff a lot.
So it's like a sort of chicken and egg situation now. You started first, he started first.
No, I think he started first. He's been doing this for quite a long time. He's got some really good stuff though on his YouTube. By the way, viewers and listeners, check out the Movie Man stuff. He puts in a real lot of effort. He does a lot of very good recaps as well. He's got a lot of recaps of shows he watches. He used to do recaps for The Gilded Age, for example. That looked really good as well. I used to enjoy watching them. Although I've never watched The Gilded Age, but I used to enjoy listening to his recaps. Like
Okay.
his recaps are really good. He's a very, very entertaining YouTuber. I really like his stuff. But yes, Eggers is another entertaining guy. I love watching his stuff as well. The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman. I was surprised with the reaction to The Northman. Did you like The Northman, Franco?
I like the Northman.
Not everyone loved it.
No, not everyone, but I genuinely enjoyed it. Because there was that sort of it was a melee film. I haven't seen something so epic in scale and very like how shall I say, visceral almost.
Yes. And the final scene. Oh, the final fight.
Yeah,
Insane.
I'll always remember the trivia that they were supposed to be fighting naked, but they had to do CGI smoke they weren't fighting naked, but it was too obvious that they were like just a few jock straps that couldn't cover the stuff basically.
That battle scene in the village, that shot, the whole long take
That was so good.
delicious. There's the kind of stuff that for people who love films, you watch that and you're like, yes, this is why I go to the cinema, and this is why I love movies. Like watching that whole scene, starting even previously, I was already pumped up because of the whole, wolf, them crying out in the darkness around the fireplace, and then, charging into grabbing the spear and throwing it back. That whole sequence was mind-blowing to see in the cinema. I appreciate you, man. I remember when you were still at Lib Talk and had the solo channel. It's awesome seeing you pivot and hearing the group discussions with the podcast. Yes, it's been a couple of years now, the movie man. It's been a really good time. It's nice to talk with other people, not just on myself. Thank you for that.
Especially when they wake up in a proper time as well.
But yeah, good to have you. Good to have you here, Movie Man. If you want to join the podcast, let me know. It'd be good to have you on. And I hope you're doing well, my friend.
By the way, Movie Man, if you like Christmas horror, I think he saw it for sure. There's a movie called Rare Exports, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Rare
Exports. It's a Finnish movie. And
A Christmas Tale. Okay.
Exactly, that's the one.
Okay.
Pietari lives with his reindeer-herding father in Arctic, Finland. But anyway, it's a very enjoyable movie. I genuinely enjoyed the how it the twist around it basically. A 3.2. No. For me it was a solid 4. For me it was a solid 4. Okay.
Anyways, Franco, shall we get into the reviews? Because today we've got like a ridiculous amount of reviews to do.
Yes. Today it's review galore.
Yeah. Obviously, because unfortunately we had to skip last week because of work reasons. The Witch is one of the only trailers that completely shook me watching it in broad daylight at work. Phew. Yeah, The Witch is crazy good. And like I always say, it's up there in probably my top 10 movies of all time, The Witch. I think Eggers' attention to historical detail, the way he analyzed documents from that period of time and took that information and applied it into the film, the dialogue, the performance by Anya Taylor-Joy, so good. Ralph Ineson, insanely good. And the final 20 minutes, that is atmospheric horror at its finest.
At its best.
Let's get into it. Let's get into the reviews now. Viewers and listeners, don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying the podcast. And please leave a comment about how much you love Robert Eggers' films. And we're going to start. Franco, I want to start with The Grab, first of all, the documentary.
Oh, it's okay. So much stuff. So, by the way, I also have to tell you that I saw Inside Out. I saw the TV Glow, The Grab, and I also before I slept off the thing because I was basically sleeping dead, handling the undead, the Norwegian horror movie. And The Grab. First, we started with The Grab.
You watch Inside Out too, Franco?
Inside Out 2? No, I haven't seen Inside Out 2.
Okay.
But yeah, The Grab. It's as you can see on the screen over here, it's an investigative journalist uncovers the money, influence, and alarming rationale. Oh, sorry. Yeah, movement. This is our English, by the way. behind covered land grabs by some of the world's most powerful countries. And oh my God, this was quite. This was riveting because it starts. Basically, the movie starts. There were lots of companies being sold in America to Chinese companies. And you think everything was normal, you know? It's like the guy who makes the money is at the end of the day is not the workers who are working for the company, but the CEO. It's a story we've seen all over again. But then the journalist keeps digging deeper and deeper and finds out that apparently some countries are preparing to are making an effort to get the resources from other countries, but this time it's not just oil or minerals or lithium, it's also food and water resources because they're also getting scarce. So that's basically it. And yes, Roger Ebert, the review over there is the holy shit documentary of the year. If you like if you have liked, was it the social? What was that documentary called about the social networks? There was.
Oh, I watched it on Netflix, right?
Yes, because it's in that same vein. By the way, the movement said, "I am absolutely down. I would gladly welcome chatting with you all. I became aware of their exports when I did the research on Hjalmar Helander after seeing Sisu." Oh yes. It's on my watch list as we speak. True. One of the guys who worked on Red Exports also worked in Sisu.
You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Sisu. I know a lot of people really like that film. I really wasn't the biggest fan of it.
I haven't watched it. My father watched it. He said it was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I thought like some of the action was good, but to reach certain ridiculous levels where I'm like, yeah, I'm out of it. I'm completely out of it. By the way, that documentary was the Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma, yes, it's in the same vein as of the Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma.
Well, it's very eye-opening the ways like certain companies work around, certain governments are doing, and I was also vindicated about this stuff. I was thinking about Ukraine and Russia. Why Russia actually attacked Ukraine, etc., etc. There's a moment in it where it was so eye-opening. Because back in the day when they grabbed Crimea, the Ukrainians closed off the dam, and the first thing that the Russians did when they started to invade Ukraine was to bomb that dam so that the Crimeans would have the water again. So this is one of the many stories that it goes over. What I think I would in a sort of it's not to be nitpicky, but it does have this sort of alarmist tone, and the last 10 minutes gives but there's hope. Like Jesus Christ! I mean, first you make me panic for the whole how long this movie is, and then the last 5 to 10 minutes. Oh yes, but we can do something. Like okay, thank fuck, you know. No, but especially even the things that are happening in Zambia. It's like, but again, I'm reading a book, but this is the thing. This is the thing that's happening. Lots of what should I say? Lots of things happening, and we are distracted with either Love Island or Big Brother now.
Oh no, now Big Brother. By the way, the movie man agrees with me, and I completely agree with what he said about Same. I love the first half of Sisu, but as soon as the sequence with the plane happened, it ruined the entire thing. Completely agreed. The whole plane sequence was so ridiculous, and the CGI was so bad that I was completely out of the film at that point.
Yeah, it throws you out, right?
Yeah. Completely lost me.
I said this is essential viewing. I think it's great. Again, doesn't reinvent the wheel as far as documentaries go. I think again one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and I was lucky to catch it at the Valletta Film Festival, was Maradona.
So good.
It's just I really appreciate the fact that he didn't use any talking heads, just all footage from that time. It was amazing.
Agreed completely.
Anyway, that's it for the grab.
Your rating is a full 5, right, Franco?
It was a full 5, only for the simple reason that is, I heavily suggest that you watch it. It's that sort of conspiracy fact rather than theory, actually.
Good stuff. What do you want to review next, Franco, with regard to movies? We'll get to the movies first and then get into shows. Did you see I Saw the TV Glow? No, I didn't have the time to watch it.
You didn't see I See the TV Glow. Now, this was a tough one to rate. This was a real tough one to rate. There were some elements of... So, we obviously first start saying the story. So, teenager Owen is just trying to make it through life in the suburbs when his classmate introduces him to a mysterious late-night TV show, a vision of his supernatural world beneath their own. In the pale glow of the television, Owen's view of reality begins to crack. And the story is there. It was very difficult for me to review this. Some stuff I liked, and some stuff was frustrating me. Like, what's happening here? What's it trying to say? But then after having watched it completely, I started to understand. And speaking of Pride Month, because this is Pride Month right now, I think this is a very good queer movie. I think people who have certain kind of experiences. I'm not saying what kind of experience exactly. We really relate to I Saw the TV Glow, and especially if you check certain reviews underneath it, you'll know who I'm talking about. But that particular thing would be the key to understand the whole movie. But I think there were certain moments in this movie where were great and almost existential horror. There was I basically my review on Letterboxd, I said it's Channel Zero for they them. Channel Zero, which is a TV series based on creepypastas. It is
yeah, right, movie man with a hot take here.
Yeah,
I got to catch this one at Sundance, and that's all, folks. For me, it was too much style over substance with an abundance of empty allegory. Understand the ideas, but I was disconnected.
I can relate. But I think this movie is not made for us. You know, there are movies which we say this is made for us. I think this is not made exactly for us, because I understood that what was exactly as crazy as it may seem, the allegory makes sense again if you are part of this community. But basically, I think visually the movie was made for me. That's what I said. That I mean, there's a sequence what Mr. Melancholy Moon with that Mr. Melancholy thingy sequence was very. That was very like I was really scared at that. I was quite fearful. But then thematically, this was I said. This movie is not necessarily made for me, but I generally appreciate what Jane Schonbrun was going for. Now, this is what I said, though, movie man. I said I saw a comment saying that this movie is a crock of nothing, and I think that they meant to leave that remark under Civil War. That's it. That's basically it. I gave it a 3.5. I gave it a 3.5. It's a decent effort, visually great. I understand, yes, that it needed. For me, it felt it needed to gel more, and especially the ending. I went like this with the ending. Because it was quite frustrating. But otherwise, then again, reading about it, I tried to understand it a bit more. It's like, that's what they were going for.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So 3.5, Franco.
3.5, yeah, 3.5. There's Fred Durst in it as well.
All right, so that's I Saw the TV Glow. I can get into the Bikeriders now, Franco, if you want.
All right.
I think that's it with regard to movies, Ushek.
No, I also watched, if you want, I can do the Handling the Undead, the Norwegian horror, if you want, before, and we leave this at the very last. There's a spoiler of the reviews there.
Handling, because it's going to show my my rating. Oh no.
Handling the Undead?
No, not for Handling the Undead. No, for the
okay,
I haven't watched Handling the Undead. Which is this, I think, right?
Yeah.
Huntering of Udole.
Huntering of Udole. Huntering of Udole. Basically, it's this story is like this. On an abnormally hot summer day in Oslo, a strange electric field surrounds the city as a collective migraine spreads across town, and the newly deceased awake from death. First off, what's really going for this movie is Renate Reinsve. I think she's really strong in this. She gives her all, even though she doesn't have lots of dialogue to say in the movie. There's also great, gorgeous cinematography. Scandinavian countries are just beautiful. Don't at me if you disagree. The sound design was great, and even the soundtrack was amazing. What also had going for it was the way the concept it was going for, because imagine someone close to you died recently. God forbid your mother or your son or your daughter passes away, and then all of a sudden you see them back in your room and or just freshly out of a graveyard, and it's a shock. I think this movie really portrayed that kind of mental shock that you have of seeing someone who you've grieved over back, but almost like a husk of the person who previously were, is something that was really handled well. Excuse the pun. But what's going against it is two things. The pacing is fucking slow. The pacing is trust me, for a 97-minute movie is like, oh my god, this is really taking its time to get there, and also, unfortunately, that concept goes back to it doesn't break the mold at the end of the day, which I wish that it did. It was managing to, but at the very end, they didn't stick the landing. Most probably they were flying a Boeing plane. But apart from that, I gave it a 3. I can understand people who disliked it because of the pacing. Sometimes I don't mind slow movies. Other times it does frustrate the proceedings of a movie. But as far as another Sundance selection says Movie Man. However, I had some issues with the storytelling after recently reading the book, which I was also interested to reading. What? No! There were some layered, unique aspects of the story, but got cut, including telepathy.
That's a pity.
No! Okay, I'm gonna give
so
it
that would have helped, Franco, right?
I'm gonna give it 2 stars now. Movement.
No.
In fact, I was telling Andrea about Dark Matter, which we'll be talking about it very soon. And I'm so happy with the show. But oh my god, you're right. That would Lestia. Why did they cut that? That would have made it much more fun. Anyway, yeah, 3 out of 5. If you like slow horror and more drama, family drama oriented, this is for you. If you're not into slow horror and drama oriented, this is not for you.
To be fair, I am. So I'm very much into slow movies.
It's gorgeously shot. There's like the play of light and dark, and the sound design and the soundtrack was beautiful. Like some moments, the soundtrack really makes a scene heartbreaking. But it did frustrate me sometimes here and there. In fact, I had to stop it to go watch the Nosferatu trailer.
I mean, worth it, no?
Yeah.
There was a deeper theme of how the undead were compelled by certain actions because of the thoughts of others, and how the electrical field caused a disorienting link to telepathy.
Lalo. What? I mean, it's a book, you know. I mean, sometimes you have to take the book and the movie separately.
Yep.
But, oh my God, yeah. He's kind of right. Okay, but no more spoilers. We'll see what Andrea thinks about it.
Yes, definitely. So with that, Franco, I think I can get into the Bikeriders, which I got to watch yesterday. We bring it up on IMDb, so I won't spoil the rating on my letterboxd. Better that way.
Too late. If you want to see the rating, just go forward.
No, don't.
No, go back. But in the meantime, guys, do tell us what you have watched as well.
Yes, please do. Please let us know what you've watched. Movies you've watched, maybe series. We're going to get into series very soon. We've got like a ridiculous amount of series to talk about now after this. So yes, like there's Franco, there is The Acolyte, The Boys, House of the Dragon, and Dark Matter. 4 big shows to talk about. By the way, the movie man said it didn't also help that I've also read Pet Sematary, and it has a much more impactful theme of loss, grief, and how that destroys people from within. Definitely a missed opportunity.
So
a pity.
I wish it's you're right. I'd like to have him as guest. I think he's also an avid reader, right? But right now I'm reading like very political stuff, not much science fiction. Has the movement also read the other book by linguist, the Let the Right One In? Because they still managed. Because they did still manage to capture the essence. Both Let the Right One In and both Let Me In. That would be anyway. I think that would be a great discussion to have when he is on the show.
Oh yes, Yella. Very ready for the Bear season 3 this week. That's the 27th.
True.
I'm gonna try and watch the whole thing this weekend and then review next week on Monday.
Enjoy.
By the way, I'm so excited for that.
By the way, I'm going to be at Mediterranean. Not for the movies, guys. I just genuinely cannot miss seeing Mike Lee. Presumed Innocent, Jake Gyllenhaal of Presumed Innocent.
I haven't started, Keith. I have to start it now. I'm a little free. I have to start. I've heard some very, very positive stuff about it, though.
Yes. It's and there's also Renate Reinsve in it as well. So there's
another show. Oh my God.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'll be at the Mediterranean.
You're going to be there on Thursday? Yes, I'm going to be there Thursday as well.
Thursday morning, though.
What is there? Yes, Thursday morning. What is there Wednesday morning, Franco?
No, Wednesday. I'm going Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to see the Storytelling Trends.
Okay.
The Thursday one is obviously the editor of Yorgos Lanthimos, Morofo Pasidis. And then Friday morning, there's Mike Lee.
Yes, the Friday I'm going to be there as well.
Awesome. So we'll see each other.
Definitely. I saw Bruce on Sunday, by the way.
With the
that was so
Crowley.
Good, Nathan Crowley. That was so good.
Mr. Crowley.
Basically, he's been the production designer on pretty much every Nolan film, minus I think Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is the only one he hasn't done with him. He started with he did Insomnia as well with him. So I think he's basically done pretty much everything.
Quite a
And
Quite an
I mean,
anecdote,
listening
by the
to
way.
him talk about, by the way, I want to talk to you about this before we get into the review for the Bikeriders. I forgot to mention this. He's the production designer on Wicked.
Oh, what's
Yes.
that?
And he's like, he's in love with this film. He really is in love with this film. And he was talking about how, wait, is this, I don't think this is.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean,
What's,
I don't understand.
I don't get the trailer. But he talked about the tulips that I had to, the whole field of tulips. We had commented about it when we reacted to the trailer. The whole field of tulips, 9 million tulips that
God.
yeah, they did some crazy stuff for that. And he was like, so I'm used to working with Nolan, and Nolan is always, you never need to convince Nolan to make everything practical, right? I mean, he's the guy who's talking about we need to make everything practical. We need to get a plane and blow it up, right? An actual plane, and actually drive the plane into a hangar and blow it all up. So usually he's got Nolan calling out for that, but on Wicked, he was like the one person in all the meetings with the producers and so on, crying out for, yes, we can make this real. Let's make it practical. So, for example, with the tulips, everyone wanted to make. No, neither was it for me.
Exactly. Like, we saw the Lego trailer before GTA 6, basically.
And he was like, everyone wanted to make CGI flowers, right? For oh my god, the makeup. Everyone wants to make CGI flowers for Wicked. It's like, no, it'll cost less. And he went up with the numbers. He showed how much it costs to buy 9 million bulbs for tulips, and then get people to obviously to work on the fields and so on, and then actually being able to sell the tulips after. And financially, it made much more sense to actually go with the actual tulips than the CGI tulips, financially. And so they went with it. And he's like, with these people, with these kinds of producers and so on, these Hollywood producers, you have to go in with the receipts.
Yeah,
you have to show them that doing stuff practically is always better, looks better, and costs less than CGI. You just need to put in the effort. And he said his teams, the teams he works with, are always willing to do the ridiculously impossible. So if they have to, prepare a field of 9 million tulips, everyone's happy to do that. He talked about First Man as well, like working on the production design for First Man, which was beautiful. Such a great film.
Something I have to get on with. I haven't seen First Man in ages.
Oh, so this, for example, is all shot in a quarry.
Yeah.
The moon scenes are all shot in a quarry, and it's all playing with lighting. It's ridiculous stuff. And
so they did fake the moon landing. No.
So it's a great talk. He's a legend. Absolute legend. And hearing him talk about, CG, he's never like dismissive of CGI, because obviously if you've got flying demons, you need CGI, right? If you've got shots, but even for example, the way they worked with the kind of like the volume with the screens behind for Interstellar, went into detail about that, making it look as real as possible. The effort that went into it is crazy. It's really impressive.
You have to, it's like CGI, but make it seamless. It's not. It's not. It doesn't have to be like what did you see? Aquaman.
Aquaman. Also, he was supposed to work on. He was going to work on The Little Mermaid with Sofia Coppola.
Sofia Coppola.
Yes, Sofia Coppola was going to be the director for The Little Mermaid. And he was going to be the production designer, and there was a bit of a jab there, because he was like, "We're going to make it all, all shot in underwater." Whilst The Little Mermaid obviously was literally all CGI. Now, I didn't hate The Little Mermaid. I actually quite enjoyed it because of the performances and the music, which I mean is from the classic Little Mermaid, right? So I didn't hate it. Although I do hate Aquafina's voice. It's a bit. I find it a bit too grating.
Yes, I really have a soft spot for Aquafina. Sorry,
she seems nice. No, she seems really nice, but her voice is really
I'm
grating.
an Aquafina sim. But let's get back into the stuff.
Yes.
Movement said that, believe it or not, he only realized that the Let the Right One In was a novel by Linguist this past January. He's seen both versions of the film, but the book is definitely on my list after reading Handling the Undead.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, there's also some stuff that was cut, but spiritually, I feel like Let the Right One In and Let Me In really captured the essence of the book as well. All right, next on your list.
So a great talk by Nathan Crowley, and good stuff to hear a legend of film talking about his craft, and he really loves his craft. The Bikeriders. I got to watch this after I went to have a nice plate of pasta. I had cacio e pepe with pistachios and what else? It had something else. I forgot what it had.
Where?
Amazing at Zero Sei Trattoria.
Sponsor us, Zero Sei.
Yes, please. We love your pasta. It was great, and truffles, and it had truffles as well. Amazing plate of pasta. Had a nice little coffee as well to wake up, because I was getting a little tired, and then me and my dad went to watch The Bikeriders. And this is the perfect movie to watch with your dad, because this is the ultimate dad film. The Bikeriders is a real dad film, and I'm so happy I went to watch it with my dad. This is the kind of movie you want to watch with your dad, honestly. Let's get into the review. So, written and directed by Jeff Nichols, I thought that The Bikeriders, first of all, and I hinted at it as well in the thumbnail. It's really surprised me because I expected a completely different film to what I got in The Bikeriders. And from the trailer and from my expectations from it, kind of like the vibes I got from it all. Because going into it, I thought it was going to be this kind of like thriller involving lots of drugs and kind of like an action and drive-bys and lots of gunfights and throwing Molotov cocktails. And it really isn't. It is anything but that. It's anything but that. Anyways, so after a chance encounter, headstrong Cathy is drawn to Benny, member of Midwestern motorcycle club The Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Cathy and his loyalty to the club. Makes the film seem much simpler than it actually is, because listening to just that summary. Anyways, I said on my letterbox that The Bikeriders is a fascinating exploration into the culture of bike riders and accounts the transition of a motorcycle club from just a few friends talking about and riding bikes to a large club involved with the selling of drugs and murder. So basically, it's mostly focused on the relationships, and that's what I love the most. There's lots of stuff that I loved about this film, but the focus on the relationships between these men who need to feel attached to something, who need something to bring purpose to their lives, because many of these men seem to not have any kind of purpose in their lives. It's post-Vietnam, so you've got people suffering from PTSD, lots of people who, and then you've got other characters, for example, one who wasn't sent to Vietnam, so he felt like less of a man because he didn't go to Vietnam. So we've got all these people lacking purpose in their lives, who form this club. They're all crazy about bikes. They all love bikes, so they go for bike races. They drink beer and have a good time. And we see this transition from this group of men into what eventually the Vandals turns into, which is this massive club of bikers who sell drugs, kill people, and so on. And it's a fascinating transition to see. One of the best things about the Bikeriders are the characters. We've got the main protagonists, of course. We've got Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and Jodie Comer. All portray fascinating characters, and I'm going to get into them in a little bit. But even the minor characters, the side characters in the club, are great to see as well. And they all have their own peculiarities, and they're all given the little bit of attention needed just to make them, stand out. So it's not just a bunch of white guys on bikes and you don't recognize one from the other. They all have their own peculiarities, and the fact that they all have very noticeable faces. Norman Reedus pops up at one point. There's who else? Boyd Holbrook is there as well.
Cargos Wallace, yeah. Okay.
Toby Wallace, for example, he's great in this. Big Jack. Is it Big Jack or Fat Jack? Happy Anderson, Corky Cargos, and all these actors bring and Michael Shannon is great as Zipko as well. All these actors bring certain peculiarities to their characters, which make them very noticeable. And when each of these minor characters have something important to do throughout the film, they all have their moments. So it's remarkable how well director Jeff Nichols did in building up these characters. Now, the film itself, it's been a while, Franco. I feel like we've been talking about this film for quite a while because it premiered at Telluride last year. And it's been a real long road to get this film in cinemas. Obviously, it was delayed because of the SAG-AFTRA strike. And I had a really good time. By the way, the movie Man, I didn't see the full trailer, but it was definitely giving me a Sons of Anarchy vibe. So I was surprised to learn it was a period piece loosely based on the Outlaws MC. Surprising, yes. So it's based on, basically you've got Mike Feist in it as Danny, who is interviewing Cathy, that's Jodie Comer. Mm-hmm. And Jodie Comer's character, Cathy, is basically commenting and narrating what happened to this group of bike riders in the Vandals. Anyways, obviously, I think it's time to talk about the performances, because the performances by our main three stars are all great. Starting off with Austin Butler. You know how Franco kids today talk about aura, how there's certain people have aura, and I think the guy we've got in the foreground of this shot has aura. Like when I got home, I went up to Tricia. I'm like, I think I get aura now. I get why the kids today say aura. Like Austin Butler. That's
the
why
vibes. The vibes.
He just oozes charisma. Like this guy can just stand there and he just oozes charisma, right? The cast itself makes it a very intriguing watch. Hoping to see it this week. It's been on my radar for a long time. Yeah, the cast is just stacked and crazy good, Jan. Crazy good. And well, I'm not going to spoil my review, but I think you can already see the direction where my review is going. Austin Butler just oozes charisma, and it's crazy when you think about it. He had very, very few lines, like very little to say. Mostly he does it with his eyes and with his body language. And if you want one actor in Hollywood today to do great acting with his eyes and with his body language, it's Austin Butler. And he's great. He's absolutely great. He's insanely good in it. So Austin Butler is great, and I love what he had. He didn't have a lot to work with, but the little bit he had to work with, flying colors. Tom Hardy is excellent. My dad loved his character the most. I get why. He's a really strong presence throughout the film. Really perfectly. I mean, it's Tom Hardy. I mean, obviously he's going to pull off the machismo required for the role. He's got a bit of a leadership role in this film. Of course, he's the leader of the Bikeriders. He can pull it off. He's got the physicality. He's got the presence. I really enjoyed the Bikeriders, but I want to see more of a love relationship between Austin Butler and Jodie Comer. I get what you mean, Keith, but I think the central premise of this film was the relationship between Tom Hardy's character and Austin Butler's character and the whole gang. Keith, funnily enough, I actually seen some people complaining about how much attention was given to Jodie Comer's character, which I think is ridiculous because I'm going to get into Jodie Comer's performance very soon. But to conclude my thoughts on Tom Hardy's character, he's great. Seeing, Tom Hardy could easily fall into the tough guy role, right? And to that kind of like trope. But he's a talented actor, and he's able to bring the nuances of showing the impact, the negative impact that the role as leader of the Vandals is having on himself, how tough it is for him to cope with all the pressures involved there, and we can see as the years pass the role leaving him negative impacts on himself, and he looks like really weary later on. So I think those new little nuances in his performance really, really, really are great. So Tom Hardy, I love. But my standout, and I don't know if this might be a bit of a surprise in a film called The Bikeriders, was Jodie Comer. Her performance, and to be fair, the screenplay does give her the most to work with, because she's the one narrating it, she's the one telling the story, but she's so good. She's a real entertaining presence throughout the film. Her accent is really fun. I really love her accent. And like I said, the screenplay gives her a lot to work with. She's given a lot of lines, a lot of fun lines as well. She's funny. And it's nice to see a character be funny, but not be ridiculous. Like you can always see, there's always gravitas to her performance, even when she's being funny, because you can tell she's using humor to try and ignore how horrible the situation she is in, or how bad the stuff that's happening to her, the stuff that's happening to Austin Butler's character. So it's a really, really, I think, really great performance by Jodie Comer. And I'm not joking when I say I think Jodie Comer right now is, in my opinion, probably the most talented actress, one of the best actresses, definitely one of the best actresses. In my opinion, the best actress right now, plying her trade in Hollywood right now. I think Jodie Comer, I put her at the very, very top with regard to best actresses right now, in my opinion, of course. Overall, I think, yes, it's conventional. Yes, there's nothing mind-blowing, no mind-blowing action sequences. There's some great dramatic moments between Austin Butler and Tom Hardy, Austin Butler and Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy and Austin Butler. So I love the dynamics between the characters. I think there's some great moments. I went in expecting a completely different film, but I'm so happy with what I got here. Overall, I give The Bikeriders a 4 out of 5. The few negatives were probably the pacing. It really slows down midway through, and it bogs down a little bit in certain plot points, which eventually are essential later on into the story. But at that point, I'm like, why are we focusing so much here? Why are we spending so much time? And really slows down. Sometimes the narration as well kind of like slows down everything a little bit. But I think Joe said that as well in his review. But I think overall, it's a great film. It was a great watch, and I had a really good time. Yes, I did not understand why the story was told from Jodie Comer's perspective, since it is about the motorcycle club, but I did not mind. She's a clear standout in the movie. Yeah, I think Jodie Comer being so good in the film really helps with that, right, Keith? The fact that she's amazing, she's such a great performance, that kind of like helps you ignore the fact that, you know, it actually doesn't really make much sense that it's Cathy narrating the whole thing. But she's so entertaining to watch that I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm enjoying this a lot. So yeah, highly recommended. It's a great watch. I really had a good time. I can tell a lot of people are not going to like this though, because a lot of people are going into it expecting like lots of action and lots of, but it's anything but that. It's anything but that.
So because I saw online that someone compared it to Goodfellas.
I get why.
But minus the flashy editing and whatnot, or
it's well directed, it's well shot, but nothing out of, nothing mind blowing. It's well shot with great cinematography, good cinematography. It's some of the pacing is a little off here and there. The soundtrack is very good as well. I really like the soundtrack and the sound design. Oh man, you have to watch this at Embassy. You have to watch this Embassy. The seats were shaking, like whenever you've got the motorcycles driving past, and the rumble of the motorcycles. You have to watch this in the cinemas. This is a cinema movie for the sound, of course. So yeah, a real blast to watch. I had a very good time. 4 out of 5 for the Bikeriders. By the way, Italy right now are 0-0 against Croatia.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what a whiplash of hyperbole that was. Yes, it's speaking of balls, basically football and soccer. The movie, man, coming back at it again with Jodie Comer is definitely top tier. I never forget her performance
Oh, so
in
good.
The Last Duel. I also love the range in character from that film to this.
The Movement, I am a big The Last Duel stan. And that's the film that really propped Jodie Comer to my attention. Watching that, I was like, oh, she's incredible. This is insane.
Have you seen her in Killing Eve?
I have not watched Killing Eve. No.
I think she's basically the murderer, but she also does that sort of she hops through one character and another, basically, despite her being.
I have to watch that.
Yeah.
I really like Sandra Oh as well, by the way.
Yeah, and not a lot happened in the game so far, Andrea. So nothing lost.
No. I have it on my side screen, by the way, Jan. So every now and then I'm just having a look. I just saw a good save by Donnarumma.
To be honest, so far, I was bored. The two matches I watched, I watched half times like this is boring. I'm not gonna watch it.
The best match was the first Turkey match, to be honest. Also, Jodie Comer needs more recognition.
True, Jan.
I'm a Jodie Comer stan. I love her. She's such a great actress. Last Duel, fantastic in the end. We start from as well. Not the greatest of movies. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm seeing it now on my IMDb. It's got a 5.9. God, that was a good film. I gave it a 3.5, I believe. And we start from very slow, but very well shot, very well directed, and Jodie Comer as the central performances.
Speaking of sports, do also give a like and subscribe to Jan Manjon's podcast, the Formula 1 podcast.
Yes, he's going to be releasing his next podcast very soon about I don't know, where was the last? I didn't watch it, Jan. Where was the last Formula 1 race?
Spain, no.
That was Spain. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was watching. I was watching the Bikeriders.
I was watching other motorcycles.
Exactly.
And
so yeah, check out his YouTube channel and make sure to subscribe to his channel as well. Next up, Franco, let's get into the shows now. What shall we start with? We've got The Boys, we've got House of Dragon, we've got The Acolyte, and obviously we've got Dark Matter.
You can go on with your show binges. I didn't watch The Acolyte, but apparently lots of controversy with The Acolyte.
So let me start off with The Acolyte.
Yeah, the interwebs is rife with
yes.
controversy.
My lord.
3.3.
Oh my God, 3.3. Okay, so let's get into The Acolyte. So me and Joe commented about episode 1 because he couldn't watch episode 2. he couldn't take it. I commented about episode 1 and 2. And I was like, I'm hoping there'll be one good episode here and there, right? Well, the one good episode definitely was not. Oh my God, the top rated episode is a 5.4.
The first one.
So wait, before we get into episode 4, there's episode 3.
By the way,
we have to talk about episode 3.
Yaman John says, thanks lads, episode out tomorrow. And the race was in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
And also another plug, again, do give a like and subscribe to Joe's reviews, especially.
Yes. Joe's reviews as well. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel. I shared it yesterday. Make sure to like and subscribe to his channel.
Kogona, that hurts my feelings.
It hurts. So long time viewers of the podcast will know that I am the biggest Kogonada fan. I adore After Yang. I think After Yang was in my top 10 movies of 2021, I think. 2021. Let me open his IMDb here. But yeah, After Yang, 2021.
It's Columbus, I think. Yeah.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 After Yang, and I gave Columbus a full 5 out of 5. I thought Columbus was so good. Its focus on architecture, the cinematography was ridiculously good. Performances were fantastic. Great film. So I am the biggest Kogonada fan. I think he's a super talented guy, and it really, really hurts. It really, really hurts to see people, people who obviously haven't watched his stuff, talk about how this is such a horribly directed episode. Unfortunately, it hurts even more for me to have to agree. Because this is a horrible, horrible episode, episode 3. It was a terrible episode of Star Wars. Now, the memes, you've all seen the memes, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Everyone's seen the meme, right? And that's, yes, it's ridiculous. It's watching it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what they were going for, right? Going into the whole music element of it. The Acolyte has been dragged to the ends of the earth and back. I've only seen... Message retracted. Yeah, maybe he's going to change the chain. Message retracted.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I thought he was caught by the Star Wars mafia and like. What did you say about it?
No. Unfortunately, the discourse has not been, good, right? In the sense that. There's been lots of racist attacks towards the stars of the show, especially towards Jodie Turner-Smith, and obviously our main...
Tell Madonna, that's
Amanda
not the
Stenberg.
issue. That's not the issue. Oh, Madonna.
And Amanda Stenberg, of course. Now, on the other hand, Amanda Stenberg herself released a video, a music video of her, and, come on. This performative wokeism has never worked on me, right? I am as woke as they come. I am as big of an ally as you will find.
It's liberal. It's liberal Hollywood, basically.
But in the real stuff, in the real world, when it comes to this performative musical stuff, I'm sorry. It just doesn't do it for me. But forget that stuff. The Acolyte has been dragged to the ends of the earth and back. Oh, it has. I've only seen the Mandalorian series thus far. It feels like everything outside of that. And Clone Wars has been poorly received. Yikes. Yes, and to be honest with you, dear movie man, Franco will remember, because it's not been that long ago that we were commenting, and I was saying how much I'm looking forward to seeing a show from the point of view of the dark side of the Force, because that's what I thought we were going to get. And we got nothing of that. In the show, The Acolyte, there's very little focus on the dark side of the Force. Episodes are ridiculously short, 28 minutes long, 30 minutes long. And that will be especially my comment about episode 4, but episode 3 was like ridiculously bad. Stuff happens that makes no sense. You got 10, 15, 20 minutes packed full of constant exposition. Everyone has to explain every single thing they do, and some of the dialogue choices, I'm sorry. The Jedi are good. No, the Jedi are bad. I won't let you leave. No, I'm going to leave. No, I will kill you. Boom. Like, this is stuff they say, Franco. I'm not exaggerating. This is the dialogue in the show, No, I won't let you go. No, I will go. I will kill you. Boom. And I'm watching this and I'm like, how did this get approved? Did this get passed? Did this get through Dave Filoni? Because if Dave Filoni looked at the screenplay for The Acolyte, I was like, yes, we're good to go. I can't trust him being the creative lead at Star Wars.
He recently said that he'd like to see an R-rated Star Wars. It's about fucking time.
We'd all love to see an R-rated Star Wars, but just the Star Wars as being R-rated won't make it good if you've got this kind of screenplay for it.
It's the screenplay. To be honest, I think yes, you're right about the music video, like digging a deeper hole. But for frick's sake,
Kogonada isn't the big issue. Yes, go ahead, Franco, sorry.
No, the whole issue is it's written badly. The story is like always Jedi. When we're craving more of Andor, and anything similar to Andor we've never seen, and maybe Mandalorian season 1, because then I stopped watching Mandalorian after
Mandalorian season 1 was excellent. Season 2 was good, sometimes great as well. I know lots of people, like Joe, for example. Joe doesn't really like the final episode. I thought the final episode was peak Star Wars, in my opinion.
Of Mandalorian.
The Luke scene.
Yeah. That was season 2.
That was season 2. That was the final episode of season 2. Season 3, downhill. I went in super excited to watch it. Downhill. Wow, so the premise isn't even really about the Sith. There is a bit of the Sith, the movie, man. But I'm going to tell you why I'm so angry about episode 4 now. Oh man, I read the Darth Bane trilogy and was completely blown away. I hope to see something like that in the vein of a Sith-based series. Alas, no, it is not a Sith-based series.
You do it, movie man. You do it.
You do it. Yes, please do that, movie man. And that leads me to episode 4. I'm not going to take too much time on this because pretty much nothing happens. You've got 25 minutes of exposition, people walking. You've got our May. You've got May walking for 25 minutes. The show is leading up to a showdown between May and the Wookiee Jedi. By the way, if you haven't noticed by now, spoilers for the Acolyte. You've got May walking and exposition to show her character. Oh, my sister is alive. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Oh, my sister, after 20 minutes of exposition and walking, oh, my sister is alive. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go to the Wookiee and hand myself in. Goodbye.
I'm gonna get hydrated. Keep on ranting.
And I'm like, I'm watching this. I'm listening to the dialogue, and I'm like, this is not good. Forget all the commentary, all the political stuff, all the fucking woke shit, which is ridiculous. There is nothing woke about this show, to be honest. There's nothing woke. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's horrible screenplay. It's horrible screenplay. And the whole show is building up to the showdown between May and the Wookiee Jedi. And we don't even get the fucking Wookiee Jedi, because the Wookiee Jedi is dead when we see him. Reason is, they don't have enough budget. 180 million budget. The show has 180 million budget. It looks shit. The production design is horrible. The costumes are bland and boring. The sets look boring. Everything feels small scale. You got, minus this shot, little to no wide shots. Everything feels small, unimportant. The shots of Coruscant look like they've come from a 1999 video game.
That looks more like Power Rangers than Star Wars, that shot.
Yeah. And
not this one, the one where there's Lee Jong-jae.
Yeah. This one, right?
He's like, there's the hologram as well.
This one.
Yeah.
The production design is so bad. And remember, Franco, we were talking about how excited we were that it's not being shot on the volume, it's being shot on set. But if these are the sets, little effort, everything feels clean, nothing feels grimy and lived in like with Andor.
Man.
I just watched the first scene of Andor again. I'm like, holy shit, the lighting is so good. The rain, the effect of the lighting,
so much texture.
The grimy bar, the dingy grimy bar he goes into, and then when he kills those two guys, it's so good visually. Like, I'm trying to look at positives. There's no positives. I'm sorry, there's no positives. Lee Jong-jae, yes, I admit, he's grown onto me. I said his character was boring in the first 2 episodes. His character has grown onto me. I will admit. His character really has grown onto me, because he's very charismatic and he's very likable. He's very likable. So I get that. Stephanie Keane, such a talented actress.
Wasted.
Wasted, completely wasted. Such a talented actress, completely wasted.
That scene looks stitched together. That's the landscape looks stitched together. It's like
Wookiee Jedi, man, Wookiee Jedi, and we see nothing from the Wookiee Jedi because they don't have enough budget for with 180 million.
Movie man saying, completely forgot about Andor. Is that worth watching as well?
Oh yes,
dude.
Yes.
I was getting shit because I wasn't watching Andor. I would get worse shit if I was watching Acolyte. I was getting Andor is even the way they handle the politics about it, and it's not
so
like
good.
There's no Jedi whatsoever. And it's like I still remember one of the scenes that's seared into my brain is not Bill Skarsgård, sorry, the father, Pete of, I always forget the
Stellan,
Stellan Skarsgård's speech about the son. That's such a good speech, man.
That speech was ridiculously good. But even Franco, for example in the opening scene, and I think we had commented about this, there are many ways in which you can portray these social issues. One of the very subtle things in episode 1 of Andor is the portrayal, very subtly done, very smartly done, of racism.
Yep.
Towards Diego Luna's character.
No, because basically the Empire is a colonial force. They colonized Andor's. Is that?
There's obviously
right?
Yes. There's obviously the whole colonializing element to it. But even those two guards looking at Andor in a weird way, it's smartly done. It's very well done.
Tony Gilroy, Tony Gilroy is a really good political writer because I don't know if he did Syriana or he did something with George Clooney. Two things I think he did with George Clooney: The Ides of March, if I'm not mistaken, and Michael Clayton. Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, so good. Yeah. But
you're in good hands. Like with Andor, you're in really good hands. It's a story like any other with Star Wars.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with the Acolyte, it's been pain so far. And to conclude, the moment where I was like, wait, okay, something's happening after 25 minutes of exposition. Finally, we get to see the Dark Force user because we see the appearance of the character with the red lightsaber. With his force push, boom, cut. End of the episode. So you finally get some momentum. And I'm like, okay, this is good. 2-3 minutes of good stuff. Boom, cut, end. End of the episode. That's it. You've ruined all the momentum. And I look, and it's 28 minutes long. I'm sorry, if you don't have enough material for an 8-episode show, make a movie or just don't fucking do it, man. Well, what the fuck is this? 28 minutes long, and you cut it the moment the show is picking up some pace. I don't know who cut this shit. Whoever did, fire them. They shouldn't be working on a TV show. I'm sorry. But moving on. Less rants to come, thankfully.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about The Boys next, which is one of the main titles. By the way, a bit of a clickbaity title. Is The Boys woke? Obviously, a bit of a tongue-in-cheek because obviously The Boys has always been very woke.
I actually read Eric Kripke's interview, great interview. I don't know if it was on New York Times or New Yorker. As like if you don't realize how woke this show is, you're stupid. That's it.
No, This shot, that shot, by the way, that scene with
I saw,
four
I saw, I
faces.
saw, I saw, I saw.
That is so good, so good, so good. Now, The Boys obviously has always been very political. It's always been making fun of both sides. Now, I get season 4, the humor has mostly been focused on one side. One of the main elements of The Boys has always been it making fun of both sides. And this season, it seems to be focusing particularly on right-wingers, on the whole Donald Trump figure, the whole... Anyways, so that I get, right? But if anyone comes up to me and tells me, I know The Boys has always been political, but seasons 1 and 2 were very nuanced with the... Like, there was nothing nuanced about The Boys.
very
Literally bashing you on the head.
Yes, even the violence of The Boys, very nuanced. The violence, like off-screen violence.
There was nothing nuanced about the politics in The Boys. I get maybe you were like, yes, but in the past you used to make fun of the left as well. Yes, that's true. This season it's very little focus on the left side, of course. Although to be fair, there is a particular character who clearly is inspired by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she's a murderer. So again, not the greatest portrayal for the left either. But anyways, again, I also get maybe some people were a bit negative towards episodes 3, 2, and 1 because they were a little slower in getting things going. So yes, that's a fair criticism. I still had a very good time watching it because I love these characters. Some of the side plots I haven't been the biggest fan of with some of these side plots, in the sense of too much focus on Madonna, on Frenchie and his relationship stuff. Too much focus on Huey and his father. I get that. I get all that criticism, right? By the way, there's a penalty right now. Modric is going to take the penalty.
Wait, guys, we have to keep pause the podcast for a second. We watched the penalty. Did he take the penalty?
No, he's going to take it now.
Now, okay.
He's going to take it now and saved by Donnarumma. Very good save.
Okay.
Very good save.
So we're still in time to get to the finals of the Euros.
Yeah, that's not going to happen this year. But episode 4, and you can tell also from the rating, is incredibly good. And the main reason why it's so good is because the guy you can see here. Anthony Starr is so good.
He really deserves an Emmy. I think as far as villains go, his portrayal of Homelander is nothing short of goosebumps.
Yep.
It's goosebump inducing. He's got even though he's like this most disgusting villain ever, he still loses charisma.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, Modric scored.
Now
down 1-0. Yep.
That was quick. He's saved and then not saved.
No. Oh, like a move the action right after, basically. Oh boy. So yeah, Anthony Starr is given a lot to work with in this episode. I mean, you could tell this and then this. Like his facial expressions, his eyes do so much. His scene, so good. This. Look at his face. It's so well done. The blood and gore, again, means something in this. Sometimes The Boys can be a little, excessive with it. But in this episode, the blood and gore really means something.
Ooh.
There's some beautiful visuals like this one. Extremely gory, extremely powerful scenes. I'm loving the dynamic with Firecracker, with, what's her name? Madonna.
Bob? No.
She's basically the smartest person. Sister Sage, with Sister Sage, I'm loving the politics there. Yeah, I think this was one of the best episodes I think we've had so far for the boys, and yeah, great stuff. Really, really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Also, seeing Starlight punch Firecracker was extremely cathartic, but I'm scared of what that's going to lead to. I'm really scared of what that's going to lead to. So yeah, really good stuff from the boys. Some people have been quite negative about it. I'll be honest. I've been very, very positive. So far, I've been having a very good time. Very, very good time with the boys.
I mean, this is not the Acolyte.
No.
For sure.
I mean, I was talking about the nuance in Andor. Not everything has to be nuanced, right? Not everything has to be like, you know, subtle and like you can have something like The Boys, which is, you know, basically bashing you on the head, but doing it in a still in a very smart, very quippy, very, very tongue-in-cheek way, right? Where you could still, you know, admire the hue, still laugh with it. I laugh a lot with The Boys and have a good time. At the same time, you know, there is also space for stuff like Andor, which is a bit more, you know, nuanced in its approach. There's space for both. What there isn't, or there shouldn't be space for, is the Acolyte. The last show, Frank, I want to talk about before we get into Dark Matter is House of the Dragon. Now, I haven't watched the second episode, because I'll get to watch that with Tristan probably tomorrow. By the way, Franco, today is 8 likes and 35 views. Really good stuff today. Thank you so much to everyone, man. Thanks so much to everyone joining in for the views, comments, likes. Really, really good stuff, man. 8 likes. That's amazing.
Keep it up, guys. Keep it up.
For the live podcast. And I thought we were not going to have any views today because there's the Italy game going on. And actually be one of the most active, 9 likes. Damn. Thank you so much to everyone. Really appreciate it. To be fair, we have lots of really exciting stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
So that helps as well.
Rather than boring stuff.
I.e. Italy and the way Italy have played. But yes, so moving on to House of Dragon. Episode 1, of course, last night in America. For us, it's 3 a.m. for us here in Malta. House of Dragon, episode 1 released. Now, Tristan wasn't the biggest fan of the episode. We start off in Winterfell, and it could be because I was getting into it after watching The Acolyte, and after watching the trash of The Acolyte.
Yeah, the bar was set low.
The bar was set so low. But I'm just watching it. and I'm admiring the production design. I'm admiring the costumes. I'm admiring the sets, the beautiful sets, and the lived in. Like looking at these sets, they feel so lived in. Look at their faces; they look grimy, and look at the armor. Like look at them. Everything feels lived in, feels real, feels fantastical, but not exaggerated fantastical. It's great stuff, visually so good. Amazing stuff visually. These scenes, these nighttime scenes. There's one particular long take involving Helena's character, which is so beautifully done. Me personally, I had a really good time watching it. It's true, the first 30 minutes are a little slow until it gets going. Understandable, because there are so many characters to catch up with and so much stuff, that it's understandable. You need to set the scene. But once Emma Darcy's character, Queen Rhaenyra, really gets things going, once she kind of not recovers, but once she kind of accepts the fact that her son is, spoilers for House of the Dragon, by the way, episode 1, and the final episode of season 1 of House of the Dragon. Once, Queen Rhaenyra accepts that, I have to not move on, but get going, right, with fighting for my crown. And once Daemon sets certain actions into motion, it really gets going. And the final 10 minutes of this episode were thrilling, were heart and mouth, superbly tense, just an all-time great watch. So I'm going to keep it short. I thought it was really well done. I thought the dialogue was very good. Great stuff overall. I had a really good time watching it. So yeah, very good time watching House of the Dragon episode 1 and very much looking forward to watching episode 2. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Franco, I'm going to take a break.
All right. So that
But you can start off.
On Dark Matter. I was keeping up with Dark Matter. Wait, there was episode 8 as well. What was the last episode? I forgot.
Episode 9. Wait, what?
Episode 8, right? No. Jupiter. Yep. I saw that's the one. Yeah, Jupiter. So, did Trizian finish the book, by the way?
No. She's been so busy. She's been so busy with work, like literally working.
Okay.
Morning till 9, 10 in the evening, Miskina.
but she's liking it.
Yes. Very much liking it so far.
So yes, we see. So after I think it was episode 7 and 8, right? Because we missed. I don't know. This is 8. But I'm getting confused. Yes.
All right. Episode 7 in the Fires of Death Stars, yeah, and episode 8 is the final episode. What's? But there's going to be episode 9.
Yeah, of course. I think this is a 10 episode series.
No, episode 9. I thought it was 8 episodes.
No. I think it's a 10 episode series.
Okay.
Because it's
9 episodes.
9? Okay. I hope
thought that was the season finale.
No.
Yeah.
No. I hope they don't.
All right.
I hope they don't rush it. But we finally.
Almadonnich. And it happened to me with another show as well. But the opposite thing, I didn't know this was the season finale. Which one was that? I forgot which one it was.
Shogun, yo.
No. Shogun was very obvious. No, it was another show I was watching, and I'm like, wait, that was the season finale. Oh shit. Okay, well, that's cool. But I thought this was the season finale. I thought this was the last episode.
No. There's
that's great.
The stakes are high, buddy. The stakes are high.
Oh shit! Well, on Wednesday. Oh yes, thankfully, because I was like, before I had a good thing, Dark Matter, and a bad thing, the Acolyte, to look forward to. No, I just have the Acolyte, the bad thing to look for. I have another week of a good thing as well.
Another week of good thing, yes.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff. You saw the futuristic world finally as well. That was so great. So beautifully done. I wish I lived in that world as well.
We had mentioned, right, Franco? We really wanted to see the futuristic world, and thankfully the showrunners heard us, and they gave us a really long part.
Friend of the show, Blake Crouch. Heard us. No, but it's great. The relationship between Joel Edgerton's character and Alice Braga's character. Yeah, it's understandable why they grow so close, and the amazing how much kindness can make such a difference, man. It's like being nice to each other and not having this sort of petty grievances. It was even Chicago looked amazing. It's like it's sort of, I don't know if it was in the second or third episode, but we see the flip side. First, we see a world that's crumbling down, and then we see a world that's almost pitch perfect. Yes. Obviously, there might be some not all perfect, and yeah, that was a quite an emotional goodbye for the characters of Alice Braga and Joel Edgerton. And then that in episode 7, that ending was so great, where you see, like, wait, didn't I already serve you? when we see 2 Joel Edgertons, and I'm like, yes, they kept it. It was in the book. That was the thing that I was telling you, that there was one particular moment in the book, like, oh shit, yes, you're right. And at first you look. This is something it might happen with certain people. You lose a bit the plots. Like why are many copies coming of the same character? Sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But yeah, if you don't want to hear anything about Dark Matter, switch off now. Thank you for watching us, and we'll keep on Dark Matter. But yes, it makes sense because everything revolves around one choice, whether they went to this door and the other door, and it's smart. It's smart. By the way, Blake Crouch did also get consultancy from physics professors about this kind of stuff, about this whole entanglement theory thing. And finally, and you know what I also like, that Daniela, Jason's wife, has agency, that she discovers the stuff, because in the book she's quite a secondary character, because in the book you see mostly into Jason 1's perspective. And Daniela, to see much more of Daniela is like, that's great. And she's so good, Jennifer Connelly.
And obviously you've got Jennifer Connelly, right? Allah Harris, you don't give her.
When she goes so through much, and then she finally realizes that something's not quite right. And when they meet, it's like, oh my God, it's Jason. Finally, that's also a cathartic moment. And that Jupiter makes sense, where there's like, that's the key word, basically. Again, spoilers, for them to recognize each other. And now it's getting interesting, because all of the Jasons going to at each other's throats, basically. So let's see.
There are a lot of oh shit moments in this episode.
Yep.
So many oh shit moments. The scene with the stairs on Jason too.
With the scene with the stairs, and also when they go out and they say, come in, and you see this Jason saying, get in the car, and then he crashes.
Yes.
And the way that he crashes into another Jason's like, oh my God, that was so good.
And them driving off. That's why I thought it was the season finale, because them driving off, and I'm like, okay, man, they'll come to focus then, like what happens in season 2.
No. But
there will be a season 2, right?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No. Wait, wasn't the last scene? Wasn't it under that silver peanut of Chicago, where he finally meets his son, Charlie?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
And then they drive off, or it's not shown. I forgot.
No, I don't think so.
Anyways.
Also, I think in certain I have to check something, because I was trying to watch it online, and I saw that apparently the Brazilian is different than the Brazilian version is different than the American version. I saw an opening, a cold open, where basically they start noticing the little differences with Jason making coffee, and I didn't see it in the American version. I'm like, right. I don't know if it's an Easter egg of showing like different versions also in the series in different countries. But yeah,
good stuff. Really good stuff. I've been having a very good time watching Dark Matter.
Also very, very well filmed. The Chicago scenes by night are amazing, with the trains passing by.
Yeah, the neon lighting. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Yeah.
There was a great moment when he sits down having a beer with himself.
Illala.
So
good. The blocking in those scenes involving the two Jasons is so good. Ridiculously good.
Even the eyeline was amazing. I don't know if they did use. I don't think they used facial replacement, because his heads are he's got quite pudgy hands, Joel Edgerton. But
who directed this? Alec
Sakharov, House of Cards.
Game of Thrones. So yeah, House of Cards. So yeah, he's done some meaty stuff. Sopranos. Cinematographer of Sopranos. Ozark.
Tashkent, Uzbekistan. No, or am I?
Sorry.
Because he was born in Tashkent, USSR. Where's Tashkent?
Stuff. She's done Ozark, The Witcher, director of The Witcher.
Yeah,
House
capital
of Cards,
Capital of Uzbekistan. Hey, I know my
He's
job.
done a lot of work with HBO Max. That's right. He's done a lot of work with HBO. Some very meaty work. Look at these shows: Boardwalk Empire, Dexter. Rome. Oh, I love Rome. Like this guy has worked on all my favorite shows, basically.
So he knows his shit.
Yeah, I can tell from this episode. I can tell. Yeah, good stuff. When you get talented people, yeah, you get good shit. That's what you need to make a show.
Yeah.
Talented people.
Looking forward for the finale next week.
Well,
And
turns out I'm looking forward to the finale as well, which I didn't know was coming. But it's a nice surprise.
Obviously, I've kept watching Smiling Friends, my daily dose of weird humor. Also binged the whole season of another weird humor, but I love the production design. You have to give it to them. Look for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, Andrea.
Don't Hug Me.
I'm Scared. That's the name of the show. You have got to hand it to them on the production design. It's a weird humor show as well, but basically it's a bizarre kids TV show. There's the songs, but this look how it looks like.
Tough. This is a kid's show.
No, it's not a kids show, but
it looks a bit creepy for it to be a kid's show.
It's satirical.
Yeah, it gets the aesthetics, right?
Yeah, it gets the aesthetics so right. It's like the scene with the twins is so funny when the twins basically just kidnap them out of their house.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's three of us. There's two of us. There's only two of us.
Oh no, you're reminding me of Power of One, Power of Two, Power of Many. I think it's time to go to sleep.
Yep.
Finish watching the last quarter of an hour of the match and go to sleep because I am exhausted. But this was a fantastic episode. Really, really good episode. Very good viewership.
Solid 2 hours.
Lots of likes. Solid 2 hours. Thank you, Franco, as always.
Thank you, Movement. Thank you, Arman John. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Yella. Thank you also to... Oh, that's it. And all the other people that have
all the other us. 35 viewers. Thank you so much for joining us.
If you want your shout out, do leave us a comment, do leave us a like, talk with us. We don't bite unless we're hungry, then don't speak to us. And if you've watched any good shows or any other movies that we need to check out, let us know in the comments. Thank you, Andrea, for hosting the show. This was episode 77.
Episode 77.
33 to go to the famous 100.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
That. And thank you so much to our viewers. So with that, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Ella. Thanks for joining us. See you guys next time right here on the Ad Lib Podcast. Always a Monday, 20:30 Central European Time.
Free Palestine Day.
Free Palestine Day.
Ciao.
Ciao.